Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. All right, I guess I get to go first. So I'm Jenny Young. I'm the CEO and founder of a brand called Brooklyn Robot Foundry. Yes, we are based in Brooklyn. I started the business 14 years ago. We are a mobile robot building company for kids. We took about 5 years to get all of the things out of my head and into a system. And then we were about to franchise in March of 2020, and then we paused. And we started franchising in 2022. So we've been franchising for a little bit over 2 years, and we have 9 franchises, kind of in the Northeast. So Connecticut, there's one in Connecticut, Philadelphia, Rochester, New York, New Jersey, and New York City as well. So basically, what is it that we do? So we do mobile classes. It doesn't have a brick and mortar. It doesn't have a physical location. It doesn't have a food truck, but what it is that you will hire teachers, and then you will do robot building classes in other people's spaces. So you will go to schools, you will go to daycare centers. 50% of the revenue comes from B2B, so you're partnering with a business, and 50% of the revenue comes from B2C, where you're selling directly to a parent. We have a huge curriculum. It starts at age 2, so really little tiny people, and yeah, they actually can build robots, I promise. Wow. And then we go all the way up through 14. We're also doing a pilot program in Manhattan next school year, where we are going to do coding classes for high schoolers. So if anyone's dorky out there, we're going to be teaching Python coding. And then we also sometimes do classes for adults as well. So corporate team building events, rather than a paint and sip, we do robots and beer. So I just want to tell you a little bit about our mission. So when I started this business, I wanted to make sure that it was just really clear, what is this thing that we're doing? And so what our mission is, we want to launch tomorrow's creative leaders by providing awesome programs that kids want and parents need. And so when we're thinking about who are tomorrow's creative leaders, we're not just thinking about our students, the kids, we're also thinking about our franchise owners. What are things that we can do to support and really launch them into small business ownership? And we're also thinking about the staff that the franchise owners employ. What are things that we can do that we can help the franchise owners to really uplift and empower their staff? And then we have awesome programs. I am a mechanical engineer by training. I'm super dorky. I love robots. It's very, very fun for me. And so this is a big part about who we are, is we want to make sure that we have robots that are very funny, that are very fun, but are also super engineering-y. And the kids are going to learn real concepts. And then that kids want, the kids have to be having a blast, and they do. It's a really fun class. And that parents need, because that's our customer. We need to make sure that the parents and the organizations want to bring us in. So we focus on hands-on creativity. We build things with our hands. That's a big part of what we do. It's not just building, though. It's also building community. So we teach our franchise owners, how can you build a community around this idea of making things together? It's totally screen-free. That's important to me because I like to use my hands to do things. And we're really working a lot on teaching kids to embrace failure. So I came from an ed tech background, and the company I was working for was doing those little Scantron bubble sheets, the thing that everybody hates. And it was like, oh my God, you know what sucks? The Scantron bubble sheets. How can we make kids love learning when they're filling out little circles? And so we intentionally design robots that are tricky. We design robots that will fail, so that the kids can fail together in a community around a table. They can watch each other, and they can kind of work through it and then get their robots to work. So it's all about that empowerment and feeling comfortable with that idea of failure. So what it is it's a mobile business. We've already covered that. You would be hiring teachers. These teachers are your own employees. Your teachers are bringing these kits of parts that we send to you from our production facility in Brooklyn. The teacher brings this little rolly cart system, and then you will be assigned a territory within your space. That is like a set number of zip codes that's yours exclusively. You'll have a small office space in the middle of that territory where you'll hold your inventory, all the stuff that you need to build the robot classes. Your teachers go to that little orange circle, and then they disperse out into your territory. They go to schools, daycare centers, churches, organizations. They go to where the kids are. They bring the stuff. They'll hand these little kits to each of the kids, and then the kids each build a robot. So I'm just going to show you a robot here. Yeah, I got it. It's fine. I can multitask. I work with kids. Oh, he's got a ball. So this is an example of a project that we build with 8 and 9-year-olds. And so what you can see if you look at it is it's like it's very open-ended. It's very naked. You can see where the electricity is happening. It's very design-focused, and that allows. Mine looks like a caterpillar. You could imagine that yours might look like an elephant, and yours might look like a pony. And so we are intentionally making it so it's really open-ended to allow for like kind of that creative design. One more. Done. Am I done?
Almost.
Okay, almost. Okay. So this is very fast. We go from age 2 all the way through adult, and it is year-round programming. Okay, is that it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll just take questions.
I have 2 questions.
Sure. Well, who goes first? Who wins?
Just one for the consumer side.
Yeah.
Does a teacher go to the house? That's question 1.
Yes.
So they do. So teacher goes everywhere,
Yes.
house or business.
Exactly.
And then 2, does the franchisee, do you want them to be somewhat techie, or can they just be a regular good person and run a business?
Yep, the last one. If I can teach a 5-year-old how to build a robot, I can teach almost any adult. What we're looking for, what is the ideal franchise candidate? I love your question, thank you. Is somebody who is good at business development, somebody who's good at sales, somebody who is good at account management, keeping those accounts. We have accounts that we got 14 years ago that we still have today. That's the type of person we're looking for, someone that is really good at those building relationships.
As long as babies are born, you'll be in business.
As long as, yes. Thank you. Do you want to come up here? Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you for presenting. It was
Sure.
very good, very good.
Thank you.
But like when I see robots, the first thing I think about is artificial intelligence. Are you implementing artificial intelligence in this process?
We are, but not yet. So that is something that we're doing in our pilot program that we're running with high schoolers. We actually, like, AI is extremely useful when you're writing code. It helps you comment your code. This is too dorky. It does a lot of great things if you are a coder. And so that is something that we want to be able to teach the kids how to use it to their benefit. We don't do it with a 2-year-old. They can't even write yet. But it is something that we'll do over here when we get to that point.
This is a little more general for me, but how do you focus on growing profit margins while also maintaining your educational mission? It seems like that could be a delicate balance.
All I can tell you is that everybody wants this program. And the minute you bring in a little caterpillar and you show it to anybody, they're like, oh my goodness, I need to do this. So there's a lot of demand. There's a lot of demands in daycare centers. Nobody has the STEM background. There's a lot of demand during the school day. The science teachers cannot manage this. We have designed over 2,500 projects in the last 14 years. So, and I'm a super dorky engineer. I have a whole supply chain managed. I have, we have a huge production facility in Gowanus. So that's the type of thing that people want, but they don't know how to do. And so that's why we're a benefit, because we come in, we bring everything that you need, and then it's done for you. Does that answer that question?
Yeah.
So I think the need is really there. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Gigi. Thanks
Hi.
for doing this presentation. The question I have is about how you keep students, kids, and even adults engaged when they have things like cell phones and tablets, which I don't even know if maybe your franchisees use to present these things. So how do you retain their attention?
I wish you could come see a class, because it's very easy. Like, the minute you give a kid a kit like this, they're like, oh my God, what is this? And it crinkles and it makes these noises, and you rip it open and everybody is completely focused on what it is they're doing. And the actual thing that we have to deal with is trying to get the kids to go home. So it's the opposite. It's an incredibly engaging activity. You know, we build things with even little 3-year-olds. I didn't bring it with me, but they're pretty simple. But they're very open-ended in a way that it allows the kids that freedom to decorate it. And so we have no problem engaging those kids. They love it. It's very fun.
And so is it like a rule that you can't use your phone or your tablet during class time?
It is I don't know. We've never really had to deal with it, but it could be a rule, but we've never had that problem. We just give them presents and they open it and have joy. So, so far that hasn't been an issue.
Perfect. And we'll take the last question from Elaine.
Sure. Thanks so much for presenting. I'm putting myself in the shoes of the franchisee, and I was wondering, are these B2 consumer sales, business to consumer, or business to business? Is it to a school? I'm wondering about the size of the sale, and then who's actually doing the selling. Is it the franchisee, or is this all done through headquarters and it's more I just maintain it as the franchisee?
That's a great question. It's 50% basically. I mean, the revenues could be shifted depending on the franchise owner, but 50% B2B, so business to business. It's going to be where you're partnering with a school, the principal's bringing you in during the day, you're partnering with after school programs, you're partnering with daycare centers. That's about 50% of the revenue that a person gets over in a year. The other 50%, because you have these partnerships for all these spaces that you run out to and do robots with, those spaces don't have kids in them in summer or on full day sessions like spring break. So then you rent those spaces and you run the classes, and that's when the parents, that's the B2C side, so business to consumer, but directly to the parents, and the parents are then paying you to have their kids Monday through Friday for 6 hours a day building tons of fun robots.
So it's like a camp?
That would be like a camp, yeah. So 50% kind of camp and 50% going into a school.